here at 12:02 p.m. We're getting ready to kick off here.
This is the very first matchup between Gonzaga and St. Augustine. This is Gonzaga's black varsity team, but they are in purple, and St. Augustine is in white. Here for the kickoff.
And the kickoff goes right out of bounds to start the game. We will start off with a scrum. Ethan Miller at scrum half. Ball's dropped in, and St. Augustine Prep wins the scrum. Ball loose.
Hermits guy gets set, and it'll go.
Luke Huber brought down. Darren Mattern runs now with it.
See, the Hermits can swing it out.
Nick Campano making some people miss. They're going to try and swing it to the outside here. And is ruled out of bounds, or forward pass actually. Gonzaga ball now in a scrum.
Hermits looking to try to keep it with the forwards and try to press through Gonzaga's line, but maybe next time we'll see if they can swing it out. Try to run around the outside. Scrum goes collapsed. Redo it. Ball is out.
And a knock on now from Gonzaga. St. Augustine Prep once again will have it in a scrum. Gavin Curran runs with it, and he dumps it off to Jake Andre. Jake Andre with the stiff arm. He's going to get pushed forward for even more yards and will eventually go down.
Swinging out to the backs.
Nick Campano goes down. Darren Mattern now has it. He'll go down for a short gain.
Back to Gavin Kern.
Nick Campano has space, and he's going to be brought down. Another good gain for the Hermits there. Jack Del Monte making people miss.
Nice pump fake there and just break their line.
Luke Huber with a short gain.
Confusion in the scrum, not committing enough people. Hermits still keep the ball.
And Luke Huber bulldozes forward.
Very close to the try zone.
They lose possession, though, and Gonzaga has it. He's brought down in the try box.
Very good play from Prep. Good ball handling. Kept swinging it out. Good couple of fakes. Move the ball forward, but lost possession. Was that a knock on?
We will see a scrum here now. And Gonzaga wins the scrum. They're going to boot it downfield. And it's caught by the Hermits. Peter Ernest has it, and he's brought down. Darren Mattern will pick up a few yards there. Mike Dostilios wings it out, and a big run. Jake Andre nearly scored there, and there's a try.
Jake Andre going through multiple guys to get that try. Very good effort.
What an effort. And your Hermits lead 5-0. It looks like there may be an injury on the field.
Hermits doing a good job of drawing multiple people in the middle with their forwards and then swinging it out, get an odd man matchup, and then they can go. The extra point, wind's picking up a little bit. Extra point was not good.
It'll stay 5-0 Hermits.
In Rugby 15s, when you score, you get the ball back. The other team kicks it off right back to you. Unlike in Rugby 7s, more traditional to football kickoff.
That's a big loss for the Hermits after a huge try. If you're the Hermits, you're going to want to extend this lead before you can make Gonzaga cut the lead. It's going to be beneficial to get a try here on this possession.
Gonzaga, a nationally ranked team, a good matchup for the Hermits to test their team. Good kick. Looks like it's going to go out.
And O'Keefe will kick it out of bounds, and Hermits will have the ball now in a scrum, I believe. Once again, Ethan Miller will play scrum half on this play. And tap the ball into the scrum. And the Hermits win the scrum. Miller would dump it off to Del Monte. Peter Ernest swings it outside Luke McCrossan. Gets a few and is eventually brought down. A good push. And they're going to say it's a penalty on Peter Ernest. Gonzaga has a big run now after that one. It was Griffin who got the yardage there. And a loose ball, they're going to kick it ahead. He's going to try and catch up to it, but will not be able to. Ethan Miller with a big run.
Loses the ball.
Tried to keep it in bounds.
Ooh. Gonzaga looking like they can show
and
spurts.
A penalty. Gonzaga has the advantage now, which means they will have a choice of a scrum or a tap and go, and they will choose to kick it out of bounds.
Gonzaga is showing spurts of their athleticism and skill, but making a few minor mistakes, losing possession. But Hermits do end up with the ball out of bounds. It will be Gonzaga line out.
The question will be, will St. Augustine Prep be able to take advantage of these mistakes from Gonzaga's team? And they will throw it in now. And Gonzaga wins it. They lose the ball briefly, but it went backwards, so they keep possession. Oh, and he has space. Precchiato gets a big gain on the run there.
Hermit's got to tackle a little bit lower.
Wood gets a few yards there. They're going to keep trying to swing it. And, oh, a knock on. Another costly mistake for Gonzaga.
Prep looks like on defense, a little communication error. Not enough guys on the outside. Could have been costly.
Once again, another mistake from Gonzaga where it looked like everything was going their way. They dropped the ball. And St. Augustine Prep will have it on a scrum once again. Gavin Curran picks it up, and he's going to try and run. He gets some yards and will fight forward. Luke Huber brought down by multiple defenders. They're going to try and swing it to the outside. Distilio, Campano kind of lost here, but he's going to make something out of nothing there and get a few yards. Curran has space. He makes a man miss. Breaks a tackle. Gavin Curran. A huge gain on that run. Jack Del Monte. Oh, some quick moves from Jack Del Monte there. Oh, and John McAllister. No one's going to catch him. He's going to score a try and make it a 10-0 ball game for St. Augustine Prep. He's a big guy, but he's got speed there. And he put it in the center, which is going to give an easy kick on the conversion for St. Augustine Prep. Will they be able to make it a 12-0 game?
Some of these bigger guys on the field, these forwards, you'd be surprised how shifty they are and how they can change at a speed.
The kick is good from Nick Campano. 12-0 game here in St. Augustine Prep, taking care of the nationally ranked Gonzaga squad.
Hermits really taking advantage of these minor mistakes that Gonzaga is taking. You see this in a lot of sports. It's all the little things that matter. You can't be making these little mistakes, but hopefully Gonzaga can clean it up and show their skill.
O'Keefe will kick it off now for Gonzaga. St. Augustine Prep will retain possession again. And time of possession has been key for St. Augustine. They've really dominated the ball here. Bispo will get some yards there, but will be brought down. And a loose ball. Gonzaga has it. They'll swing to the outside. A huge tackle. But he's still up. He's not on the ground yet. Now he's finally down. A big tackle there from P.J. Degnan. Another big tackle. Gonzaga can't go anywhere. St. Augustine Prep doing a great job of tackling so far.
These bigger guys, you really got to
get. We'll see who wins this.
And it's a maul.
And it looks like St. Augustine Prep will push them backwards.
A very big maul. Many of the players committed to this maul. Not going anywhere.
And St. Augustine Prep looks like they're winning this one right now. And now the ref finally blows the whistle. And will have the ball. It'll likely be a scrum.
You see these bigger guys, you really got to get low right at the hip and drive your shoulder in and wrap their legs so they fall over. You can't be going above the waist. It's really hard to tackle somebody when you're tackling above their waist.
Miller gives it to Del Monte. Distilio swings it. It's intercepted by Gonzaga. They're going to get way better field position here. How will they be able to handle it? And Gage goes down there. And it's Gonzaga has an advantage now. Back 10 for the Hermits.
Looked like it was a high tackle. It appears they're going to...
O'Keefe
see what they can tap
will
and
likely kick it out of bounds here, and he will. It might hit the car, and it does.
In rugby, off a penalty, you can do a couple things. You can tap and go, which is you just take the ball, you tap it on your foot and go. You can kick it out of bounds, and that's pretty much. Or you can
scrum as well.
Or you could go kick it for the extra point if you're close enough, but most of the time, people go for the kick to touch out of bounds to get the line out.
The line out has to be in the center, but they have their own man throwing the ball here. And they will easily win, not much of a contest. And it's a penalty here on St. Augustine Prep, I believe. No, it was on Gonzaga. Now St. Augustine Prep will have their line out.
Hard to see from your bias.
It looked like it may have went towards their direction, which it has to be in the center. And a smart play by Kenny, but Huber was not able to catch it.
Gonzaga finding gaps.
And a tough run there from Hannaberry. Wood is brought down. They're going to have good position here. They need to find a way to score if they want to have a chance against St. Augustine Prep on this play. .22, gonna try and bounce it out to the outside, but he is brought down. Oh, and St. Augustine steals it.
Who's that? Gavin Kern keep pushing forward.
But he's out of bounds, brought down.
Still,
maybe a lucky break for Gonzaga there.
Still a good play. Got the ball out of scoring range for Gonzaga.
A missed opportunity there for sure, but now they have the ball back on a line out. Gonzaga's got to try and bounce it out to the outside, get it to one of their wingers, maybe. And another penalty on the line out for Gonzaga. Once again, another mistake that might cost them if St. Augustine Prep can capitalize.
Gonzaga, both times in their lads, can't keep the ball straight down the middle in the channel in between the two teams. If it goes either way, it's a penalty.
And Gonzaga steals it on the line out from St. Augustine Prep.
Gonzaga doing
good swinging here from Gonzaga. And he's got space. McDermott brought down out of bounds. A great play for St. Augustine Prep, as it looked like it was a try. So he was forced out of bounds, and now St. Augustine Prep will have possession.
You know, that's what I like to see in rugby. I like to see a ball be moved out to the outside, work a little odd man game, and find space on the outside and just run by the person.
Yeah, and he had to be a little bit quicker there, though, as St. Augustine caught up to him and was able to bring him out of bounds. And another steal on the line out for Gonzaga. A lot of confusion here. And it's a big run from Sylvester. He's brought down just short of the goal line. And they're going to keep running forward with their big guys here. And St. Augustine making some big stops. Will they be able to force a turnover? And it looks like they will. A penalty on Gonzaga. And another penalty on Gonzaga.
Gonzaga failed to go back 10 yards. You can do that in rugby.
Del Monte will likely kick it out of bounds here. And it's a good kick.
When the ref blows the whistle in rugby, you got to get back and holds his hand up at a 45-degree angle. You have to get back 10 yards. But if you are given the advantage, if other team is not back 10 yards, you can tap the ball and go. And if they touch you and they're not 10 yards back, that can be another penalty.
It looked like Sylvester might have done a high tackle on that play as well, even without getting back the 10 yards. Sylvester catches it over Huber.
Hermits got to figure something out on the line out. This third time in the road, the other team has gone it.
A good job swinging the ball for Gonzaga. Will they finally get a try here? The stiff arm there will get some yardage. And Wood fought forward for some yards, but they lose the ball again. Another mistake. Del Monte once again trying to kick it out of bounds, and he will. But this time it's a Gonzaga line out. And they finally win the line out without a penalty. Gonzaga gets some good yardage with McDermott there. And they're pushing forward. Another good gain there for Gonzaga. Oh. And now it's here, Nick. Gonzaga slowly but surely picking up some nice gains here. They're going to try and reverse the ball as Amorosi is brought down, and another turnover. St. Augustine Prep has the ball here. Sonny Scafidi brought down.
Let's see a little swing it out.
Mattern can't find much.
Prep's got to swing it out.
Drop. Will they be able to keep it? Yes, they will. But Nick Campano will kick it out of bounds. Or it will stay in bounds. And another kick, and this one bounces in bounds before going out.
Hermits, right after gaining possession, they had an advantage out on the outside. They should have swung it out there and maybe got picked up a couple yards from there.
And the reason Gonzaga wanted to kick it out of bounds there was because they did not want to keep it in their territory. And they're going to try and make St. Augustine make a mistake here and get the ball in good position. And a nice play to wait. Good patience there from St. Augustine on the line out as they win. Del Monte may have had Ernest. Dostilio gives it to Ernest. And McCrossan, kind of a tough spot, is brought down hard. Alex Jurgen running angry here. Will get some yardage, and he's going to keep fighting. Alex Jurgen dumps it off, an offload. Gavin Curran making some nice plays. He's not brought down completely, and he turns it over, intercepted by Hearing.
Nice offload there, finding room.
McDermott once again, he's going to try and keep it in bounds with a kick, and he does. A smart play, and they intercept it again, but Gonzaga's out of bounds just barely.
Gonzaga's so close, but
multiple just barely missed opportunities there. And
not enough help when they
play.
Gonzaga's struggling to find help when they find those gaps in
it was a smart play to keep it in bounds, but no one was there to help them, and it ended up being St. Augustine just getting the ball back here. Now they have a line out. And a nice line out, great catch for St. Augustine. They finally win one. And another kick there. It's Campano. He'll stay in bounds. Del Monte's going to try and catch up to it. He almost does. Gonzaga has the ball, though. And Kosh gets some nice yardage there. Ooh, a big hit from Gavin Curran. And now St. Augustine has possession because of it. Luke Huber bulldozes a man forward and picks up extra yardage. St. Augustine with some aggression here. Can they keep it up? Alex Jurgen breaks another tackle. And an injury. It looks like multiple injuries out there. We have a trainer on the field. We're going to keep playing. And Bispo has a lot of space.
No support there. Hermits get there quickly.
And the ref blows the whistle. And another injury out there for Gonzaga.
Appears there will be an injury timeout. The only timeouts in rugby are injuries. There is a JV game versus Hermits and Gonzaga on the turf field, playing right now.
The only stoppages are in between the two halves and injury timeouts. So not many opportunities for breathers here, and St. Augustine and Gonzaga are both going to really need this one.
Prep not making any subs. The only time you can make subs in rugby, once again, is injury timeouts and halftime.
Ball will be kicked out of bounds.
Not much to say here. Maybe about 5-6 minutes left in this half.
And Gonzaga will get a throw in here. And St. Augustine may have stolen it, a loose ball and out of bounds.
A nice
St.
tip.
Augustine with the line out win. McAllister dumps it off. Bispo gets some yardage. And a penalty on St. Augustine.
Another penalty. Looks like a maybe unsportsmanlike. The ref shaking his head.
Kick doesn't go out of bounds, bounces, and it looks like it finally bounces out of bounds. So St. Augustine will try and get a stop here as Gonzaga has it in their territory.
Rugby, one of the 4 gentlemen's sports. Officials do not tolerate anything on the field.
And looked like he may have stepped inside the box. Could be a penalty on Gonzaga, which would be huge for St. Augustine. And another mistake here.
Prep scrum down.
St. Augustine's going to try and run this clock and end this first half because they're up 12-0. This is a great half so far for them. Ooh, Jack Del Monte making people miss. And a penalty on St. Augustine again.
Not releasing the ball after tackled.
Gonzaga, this may be their final shot in the half, and they lose the ball again. Another knock on. Will St. Augustine be able to have numbers here and get a try? Another knock on by Peter Ernest there.
But it returns to the first knock on.
Advantage for St. Augustine is why they get the ball back here.
Looks like Coach Towell is calling a play out of the scrum. See what happens.
Peter Ernest has it, gives it to Scafidi.
Finding room.
But he's out of bounds. Gonzaga wins the line out. And they're going to get a big gain there. And it's Oscars getting a lot of extra yards here. And a push. Everyone getting in to see if they can drive the other player backwards.
Another maul, not really going anywhere.
And the ref finally blows the whistle.
Redo the scrum down.
And some excitement from Gonzaga. And it's a kick out of bounds for Campano. That's the end of the first half. St. Augustine Prep leads 12-0.
Welcome back to the second half of our game. Gonzaga the favored team, but Hermits up 12-0.
Nick Campana will kick off to Gonzaga. Some confusion on the field. The official will finally come out, and we are going to be underway here in just a few moments.
Looks like some subs made on both teams.
The ref taking his time here. We are off to the second half.
A very good kick.
And Gavin Curran catches it, but it did not go far enough.
Only 1 yard short. Maybe about a couple of feet.
And the scrum here now for Gonzaga.
Scrum was collapsed. Redo it.
And picked up by Sylvester. He's brought down. A tough tackle. Destilio has it, and he's brought down as well. And St. Augustine in the ruck. We'll give it to Jurgen. He'll fight forward for a few. And the kick doesn't go too far. And loose ball. Peter Ernest has it now. Darren Mattern brought down by Sylvester. They swing it to Sonny Scafidi. He's brought down out of bounds. Great play by Gonzaga there. But they're going to say it's a high tackle. St. Augustine Prep will have the advantage. And they will kick for touch. It will go out of bounds. Dom Kenny will throw it in. And dropped by Curran. There will be a penalty though. And a redo, but now it's going to be Gonzaga's throw. And another penalty on the throw for Gonzaga.
Both teams struggling with these lineouts, not throwing it right down the channel.
Now they will scrum instead.
Scrum down, Prep's ball.
Gavin Curran has space. He's going to get some good yardage, and he's going to fight forward for more. Alex Jurgen fighting, and he gets just short of the goal line. Ethan Miller nearly scores. Once again, just short. John McAllister will try for his second goal. And he gets his second try. St. Augustine Prep up 3 scores now, extending the lead. What a game for John McAllister so far.
Prep really strong in this game against his nationally ranked team.
This is a huge show-out game for St. Augustine Prep. Nick Campano will kick, and he will.
And that's good.
Make the kick. A great kick from Nick Campano there, making a 19-0 game.
Prep will keep the ball off the kickoff. Gonzaga, see if they can change the momentum of this game, but still have a whole half to go. What can happen?
McDermott will kick off to St. Augustine. And it is caught from Alex Jurgen. He's going to make some people miss. Brought down, still in bounds. They're going to have to get it out of that area. McAllister fights forward. Destilio brought down a short gain. They're going to reverse it to Darren Mattern. Brought down for nothing much.
Pump fake Darren. Not doing much there. Gavin Kern. Hermits are going to try to set their lineup.
Mattern.
Gonzaga committing a lot of guys to their ruck.
And they're going to keep giving it to their forwards, getting short gains, running the clock here. Del Monte makes one miss.
Offload.
Curran with a stiff arm.
arm.
He's going to
Run
stiff
through
arm
two guys.
Gavin Curran, and he's finally brought out of bounds. And some intensity here by Gavin Curran and Sylvester. Don't want to risk any penalties for St. Augustine or Gonzaga. You
Both
don't want to risk
teams
anyone going out either.
Bringing a lot of energy. Ref doesn't tolerate any negative interactions between either team.
It was a great play by both sides. Curran fought multiple defenders off, but Gonzaga was able to force him out of bounds, and the ref will talk them over. The handshake between the two.
At the end of the day, it's just a game, but you know, any sport, you get rowdy.
Gonzaga does win this line out without any penalties. They should try and swing it to the outside here. Instead, they'll run with it, and he's going to pick up a few yards. They're going to keep swinging it, and a big run there from Hastings. Sylvester gets some yardage, and he's going to dump it off. A good drive so far here for Gonzaga. Will they be able to keep this up? It looks like they're going to call a knock on here. No, it's Gonzaga's possession with a penalty on St. Augustine Prep. And a kick out of bounds. They will kick for touch. And a line out now with great field position. Gonzaga may be able to put their first points up on the board.
Both teams bring out a lot of energy to the second half. And Prep will make some subs.
Two of the key players for St. Augustine Prep, P.J. Degnan and Gavin Kern, will check out of the game.
Once you're out, you're out. Well, Gonzaga wins the line out.
A big tackle. And fighting forward is Oscar. A low pass. That's going to be a turnover for Gonzaga. Mike DeStilio dives on top of it. Del Monte will swing it. Ernest has it. He gives it to Scafidi. The sophomores, and Scafidi gives it back to Ernest. Ernest making people miss. A great play by those two. And they get great field position now for the Hermits. McAllister, pump fake, makes the guy miss. And that's going to be a penalty on St. Augustine. Gonzaga will kick it out of bounds again.
It looks like the rain was holding out for the game. It's a beautiful day outside, but...
Ooh. Dom Kenny ends up getting the ball, hit his knee, and bounced off Dom Kenny's head. And some confusion here. The ref will blow the whistle. There will be a scrum now. St. Augustine will have a scrum about midfield here. Miller taps it in. They're going to swing it left. And a nice kick. But Gonzaga ends up getting it.
Pete Ernest coming in. Pedal.
Chasing in.
Ooh.
Can't get the ball there. Tough spot. And they're going to say it's a forward pass. Ooh, a great catch by Sonny Scafidi. Campano jukes 2 and gets great yardage. Campano fights forward. Del Monte makes 1 miss. He's going to cut inside. Oh, nice jukes from Jack Del Monte. Logan Barrett
offloading.
Brought down there. Del Monte has numbers, and McAllister. Have a day, John McAllister. 3 tries on the day. Extends the lead for St. Augustine. 24-0. Will they be able to make it 26-0 with the extra point? Not great field positioning for that, but you never know. John McAllister up to his 3rd try of the day.
Gonzaga making a substitution. Not good positioning for the extra point, but
Campano has hit most of his tries so far. Will he be able to hit this one? Kick is no good. It's a very difficult kick from that spot, but it will be 24-0 for St. Augustine Prep. Maybe surprisingly here, as nationally ranked Gonzaga still has not scored a try. St. Augustine will have it. Caught by Del Monte. He's made some great plays so far. Gives it to Ernest. Back to Jurgen. Buono slips. Ooh, Jurgen just pushes him off of him. Danny Cortez is brought down. A nice short gain for him.
Some good yardage. Swing it out. They got room on the
Burns
outside.
Gives it to John McAllister again. He's been busy today. Del Monte, they may have numbers. He's going to cut inside. Jack Del Monte making people miss. He's really tough to tackle with his moves. Danny Cortez fights off a tackle. He's got
Cortez.
room. He offloads to McAllister.
Very nice play by Cortez. A little risky of an offload there to McAllister, but
Jake Andre back in, and looks
pass.
like he may be hurt again. He may have stepped wrong. Checked it back in after being hurt earlier.
Prep through a forward
and
pass.
It seemed like as he caught the ball there, may have stepped awkwardly, and he just checks right back out of the game. And the key here has been St. Augustine's dominating the time of possession. Gonzaga hasn't really had a chance, especially in this half, to get a try. But now Gonzaga has it, and they do not win their scrum. It's going to be a penalty. Scafidi looked like he had a great play, but the ref blows the whistle and calls a penalty. And it collapses there in the scrum. We'll see whose scrum it will be now. It will stay Gonzaga.
Gonzaga, see if they can do something with the ball here, get it out to their backs.
Gonzaga does win the scrum. They're going to try and swing it to the outside, maybe use their speed as a winger, and he does have space. Del Monte with a tough tackle. And a drop, but falls in his teammate's hands. And another drop. This time it's a knock-on, but St. Augustine's possession, maybe with an advantage, and they do have the advantage. And a lot of substitutions here for St. Augustine. John McAllister, who's had a huge day, checks out of the game. Del Monte swings it to Campano. Back to Del Monte on a switch. Sonny Scafidi. And a tough spot here, but Bueno finds something. Gets some yardage. Jurgen gonna fight, and he's gonna get a huge gain. Alex Jurgen, maybe a high tackle. He's still up. He offloads it. And it's an advantage for St. Augustine Prep.
Looked like it was a high tackle there.
And if it wasn't, I mean, that may have been a try for Alex Jurgen. And to tap and go, the ref blows his whistle.
You have to tap it where the mark is, where the ref sets the mark right in front of him. And Prep will go for the point.
A rare sequence here. Extra point try for Nick Campano. Usually we see a scrum, a tap and go, but they're going to try and add more points here with a kick. Kick is good for Nick Campano, extending the lead.
Three points for the penalty kick.
27-0. St. Augustine shutting out Gonzaga right now. The Hermits playing a phenomenal game. And they've really dominated, especially on the time of possession. And the kick caught by Christian Sabella. Barely in bounds. He offloads it, but it's out of bounds now. Bispo brought down out of bounds. And there will be a scrum. And the scrum goes out of bounds. Gonzaga struggling here, especially on the scrums, on defense. They really can't figure out what to do. It's 27-0, but they will throw it in. They do win it, and they will try and swing it to the outside. And a nice run for Wood.
It appears
Del Monte runs, but there is a penalty called. And St. Augustine has to go back 10 now. Gonzaga may be too little too late, but they have a chance here at scoring. Oh, a huge tackle there for Nick Scafidi. Wood will run, push forward for some extra yardage.
a knock on.
But advantage for St. Augustine. They're going to keep swinging it. P.J. Degnan offloads. T.J. Burns gets about a yard. There's a scrum now for St. Augustine Prep.
About 15 minutes left in this final half.
Still enough time for Gonzaga to mount a comeback, but they haven't really had anything going so far, so it's going to be tough. They're going to need to push forward and start scoring more tries. Scafidi will tap it and now give it to Del Monte. Destilio pump fakes. What a move by Destilio. He's stiff arms.
Looks like he can go all the way.
Mike Destilio cuts inside. Oh, another broken tackle. And Mike Destilio. Are you kidding me, Mike Destilio? What a try.
Clip that and put that on the highlight tape.
Mike Destilio took it all the way himself, and it was not easy, but a great try by Mike Destilio there. I mean, he's got to be really tired after that one. Took it probably at least 60 yards, juking defenders. What a play from Mike Destilio.
Running through and juking defenders. You know, if you're Gonzaga, you got to be thinking, how did he get through our line? We need to communicate what to do when that happens.
In a game that already seemed like it was over, the lead just got extended even more. 32-0. They're going to have a point after try. Nick Campano, a really tough kick from this spot. Kick is good. Wow, what a kick from Nick Campano.
Even though Hermits ahead by a good amount, you still can't let off.
Kickoff here will stay in bounds. Jurgen has it. He pump fakes. Offloads to Buono. To Cortez now, who fights forward for some yardage. And they lose the ball. Gonzaga has it in there in St. Augustine territory. And a great run there. They're going to try and drive him out of bounds, and they will. What a play by St. Augustine Prep.
Hard to see there on camera, but they did get him out of bounds, and there will be a line out to prep.
Nick Scafidi will throw it in now. Nice fake. Jurgen drops it, but it bounces backwards. No knock on. And this is a loose ball. Gonzaga may be able to put their first points up on the board. They're pushed back. St. Augustine won't go out without a fight here on this play. And they're pushing. St. Augustine Prep may prevent a try here in what seemed to be perfect territory from Gonzaga. And it looks like it will end up being an easy try there. Nice job of swinging it out to the outside, and Hastings will score. Put points on the board now, eliminates a shutout from the Prep, but still a huge deficit. Not the easiest kick for Gonzaga, but we just saw Nick Campano hit it from a pretty similar spot.
Nice day, no wind outside.
There was expected to be storm. Luckily, it's waiting until after the game, it seems like.
It's good.
Great kick there. And Gonzaga will have the ball back. So that it's not over yet, but it's going to be tough to come back from such a large deficit. It looks like the JV game is still going on the other field on the turf.
About maybe 10 minutes till full time.
Campano will kick off.
Yeah, PJ Degnan with a good run. Maybe he can steal it.
Degnan
He does.
almost does. Drops it. Gonzaga still has it. Looked like Christian Sabella may have gotten the ball.
But it was a knock-on.
Advantage for Gonzaga. They'll have the ball in a scrum now. Not much time for a comeback here. Peter Ernest gonna try and get it.
Does have space.
Hastings almost caught up to it. Ernest kicks it back the other way.
Ernest is a varsity soccer player. Got a good foot there. Could get pretty far.
And a good run for McDermott. He's going to get it back into St. Augustine territory. Cortez trying to bring him down. Now multiple defenders trying to bring him down. And out of bounds. He stepped out. A tough break there. Looked like he may have had space on the outside. The foot just stepped out of bounds. It will be a scrum now.
Sonny Scafidi, the scrum half.
St. Augustine. Alex Jurgen running hard there. Gets some yardage and more. He's going to keep fighting.
Rolls over a couple players.
Finally brought down.
Wow.
Campano, nice move. Another good juke, but he's finally brought down as well. Scafidi gets the ball, swings it to Jurgen again.
Jurgen looking like he wants some
just
yards.
Fights forward. Looks like he wants it more than them. Cortez will try and bulldoze forward, but is brought down for nothing much.
If I was Prep right now, I'd try to swing the ball out and see what can happen. Oh, loose
good
ball.
Kick. But it seems like Bueno, he took his time there, so Gonzaga did end up getting it. And it goes out of bounds. And that will do it.
That is full time
for St. Augustine Prep against a nationally ranked squad in Gonzaga. Made them look a lot worse than they really were. 34-7. A big-time win for St. Augustine Prep.
A good game from both teams, right? But good win for Prep against a nationally ranked team. You could be happy coming home with this. And up next week, Prep plays another nationally ranked team, Georgetown Prep. We'll see what happens then. We'll see you next time.
I'm Nick Campanaro here with Jacob Panett. And
thank you for tuning in.
For tuning in.